Ladies and gentlemen, most people talk too much. They explain every move. They announce every dream. They argue with every opinion. They try to prove themselves to people who were never going to understand them anyway. And while they are busy making noise, life keeps passing them by. There is a different kind of power in this world. A quiet power, the kind of power that does not need validation. The kind of power that walks into a room and does not beg for attention. The kind of power that stays focused while everybody else is distracted by drama, gossip, and meaningless competition. Some of you are suffering today because you keep telling everybody your plans before they happen. You keep looking for applause too early. You keep asking people for permission to become who you were born to be, and every time somebody doubts you, your energy drops. Every time somebody laughs at your vision, you start questioning yourself. That is why silence matters. Silence protects the dream. A seed grows underground first. Not everybody needs to see the process. You do not have to announce every sacrifice. You do not have to explain why you disappeared. You do not have to defend your growth to people committed to staying the same. Sometimes the greatest move you can make is to stay quiet and work. Let people misunderstand you. Let people think you are losing. Because while they are talking, you are building. While they are watching everybody else, you are watching your future. See? The strongest people are not always the loudest people. The lion does not waste time barking. The ocean does not make noise to prove its depth. Real strength speaks through discipline. And the truth is, when you finally master silence, something powerful begins to happen inside you. Your mind becomes clearer, your emotions become calmer, your focus becomes sharper. You stop reacting to every little thing. You stop chasing attention. You stop needing approval from people who cannot even control their own lives. And suddenly, everything starts coming naturally. The opportunities, the confidence, the growth, the peace, the respect. Because when you stop forcing life, you finally allow yourself to flow with it. Some of you are exhausted because you are trying too hard to control everything. Trying to force people to love you. Trying to force success overnight. Trying to force recognition. Trying to force happiness. But life does not work like that. The best things happen when preparation meets patience. When you work in silence long enough, results start introducing you. People will ask, how did you do it? But they did not see the lonely nights. They did not see the discipline. They did not see the moments you chose growth over comfort. They only see the reward, not the restraint. And let me tell you something. A quiet person with a focused mind is dangerous because they are not wasting energy trying to impress people. They are investing energy into becoming powerful. That is what you must do. Protect your peace. Protect your vision. Protect your energy. Not everybody deserves access to your dreams. Silence is maturity. Sometimes silence is wisdom. Sometimes silence is survival. And sometimes silence is the very thing that allows greatness to grow. The world will always be loud. People will always have opinions. People will always criticize. People will always doubt what they cannot understand. But you cannot build a better future if you keep stopping to answer every voice around you. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. Stay humble. And most importantly, stay silent long enough for your results to make the noise. Because one day, everything you prayed for, everything you worked for, everything you suffered for will come naturally. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. Most people destroy their dreams by talking too early. The moment they get an idea, they run to everybody around them looking for excitement, approval, and validation. They tell friends, they post online, they announce plans before they even take the first real step. And when the wrong person laughs at them, doubts them, or questions them, the dream suddenly starts feeling weak. That is why silence matters, because not everybody deserves access to what God placed inside you. Some people will clap for you in public and secretly hope you fail in private. Some people will smile in your face while planting fear in your mind. And if you are not careful, their small thinking will start becoming your reality. You have to learn how to protect your vision while it is still growing. A seed does not become a tree overnight. It spends time underground. Nobody applauds it while it is fighting through dirt. Nobody celebrates it while it is struggling to grow roots. Nobody even sees the process, but that hidden season is necessary. And your life is the same way. Right now, some of you are in a hidden season. You are working quietly. You are trying to rebuild yourself. You are trying to become stronger mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And the hardest part is that nobody sees your effort yet. People only celebrate results. They do not celebrate sacrifice. They do not see the nights you stayed awake trying to fix your life. They do not see the pressure you carry in silence. They do not see how many times you wanted to quit but kept going anyway. That pain changes you. There are moments in life where you stop explaining yourself because you get tired of people misunderstanding your heart. You stop telling everybody your goals because every conversation starts draining your energy. You stop sharing every move because you realize some things grow better in private. Silence becomes protection, not weakness, not fear, protection. Because when you move in silence, you remove unnecessary pressure. You stop performing for people. You stop chasing applause. You stop worrying about who believes in you and who does not. You just work, quickly. And there is something powerful about that kind of loneliness. It forces you to meet yourself. No distractions, no fake support, no noise. Just you and your discipline. That is where real growth happens. Some of the strongest people you will ever meet suffered quietly. They cried quietly. They healed quietly. They rebuilt their entire lives without announcing it to the world. And one day everybody looked at them and said, "You changed." Yes, because pain either breaks you or builds you. And when you stop talking so much, you start listening more. You hear your intuition clearer. You hear your purpose clearer. You notice who truly cares about you and who only loves access to your life. Silence reveals everything. It reveals fake people. It reveals weak habits. It reveals your true character. And the beautiful thing about protecting your vision is this. When the results finally appear, nobody can stop them anymore. Because by that point, your confidence is no longer built on opinions. It is built on survival, built on sacrifice, built on all the silent battles nobody knew you were fighting. One of the biggest mistakes people make in life is needing everybody to agree with them before they move forward. They wait for approval to chase a dream, approval to start over, approval to become somebody different. And while they are waiting for permission, their life stays stuck. You cannot spend your whole life asking people to validate a purpose they did not give you. Some people will never understand your vision because it was never meant for them. And that hurts sometimes, especially when the doubt comes from people you love, family, friends, people you thought would support you no matter what. There are moments when you walk away excited about your future and somebody you trust looks you in the eyes and says, "That will never work." And suddenly your confidence shakes, not because they are right, but because you allowed their opinion to become louder than your belief. That is dangerous because the world is full of people projecting their fears onto others. People who gave up on themselves will try to convince you to give up too. People who settled for less will criticize you for wanting more. People who are afraid to fail will laugh at anybody willing to take a risk, not because you are wrong, because your courage reminds them of what they abandoned in themselves. You have to stop needing validation from broken people. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has advice. Everybody thinks they know what is best for your life. But at the end of the day, they are not carrying your dreams. They are not carrying your pain. They are not carrying the weight of your unfinished purpose. You are. And there comes a point where maturity looks like silence. You stop arguing. You stop explaining. You stop trying to convince people to see your worth because deep down, you realize something powerful. People who truly believe in themselves do not need constant applause. Validation can become addictive. Some people only feel motivated when others praise them, only feel confident when others approve, only feel valuable when others notice them. But what happens when nobody claps for you? What happens when nobody supports you in the beginning? Because most dreams start lonely. Most success stories begin with confusion, fear, and uncertainty. Nobody sees the vision except the person chosen to carry it. And that is where faith becomes real. Can you keep going without attention? Can you keep believing when nobody else does? Can you stay committed even when people laugh at your process? That is strength. The truth is, if you depend on people's approval, you will also collapse under their rejection. And rejection is part of life. Not everybody will understand your growth. Some people only like the old version of you because that version was easier to control. The moment you become focused, moment you become disciplined, moment you start demanding more from yourself, some people get uncomfortable. You outgrow conversations. You outgrow habits. You outgrow environments. And suddenly the same people who ignored your struggle start questioning your transformation. But you cannot shrink yourself just to make others comfortable. You cannot keep abandoning your future just to fit inside somebody else's expectations. There is a different kind of peace that comes when you stop chasing validation. You stop overthinking every opinion. You stop trying to prove your worth. You stop living for other people's approval. And instead, you start listening to your own soul. You start trusting your own journey because at some point in life, you realize nobody is coming to save you. You have to believe in yourself first, even when the room is silent, even when support is missing, even when people doubt your potential. Because sometimes the only person who sees your future clearly is you. Everybody wants success fast. People want the body without the workouts, the money without the struggle, the peace without the healing, the reward without the discipline. And when life does not move quickly enough, they become frustrated. They quit too early. They start believing nothing is working just because results are not showing immediately. But real success does not happen overnight. It grows quietly through discipline and patience. That is the part nobody likes, because discipline is painful. Discipline means waking up when you do not feel like moving, working when your mind is tired, staying committed when motivation disappears. And trust me, motivation always disappears at some point. There are mornings where you feel empty, days where doubt attacks your confidence, nights where you question whether all this sacrifice is even worth it. That is where discipline takes over, because disciplined people do not rely on feelings, they rely on commitment. And commitment changes lives. A lot of people ruin their future because they are addicted to comfort. They want temporary happiness so badly that they avoid the pain required for growth. They keep delaying the work, keep making excuses, keep saying tomorrow, but tomorrow keeps turning into another year of regret. Patience is painful too. We live in a world where everybody wants instant results, instant money, instant fame, instant healing. But life does not reward impatience. Some things take time because they are preparing you for what you asked for. You cannot pray for strength and expect an easy life. You cannot pray for success and avoid pressure. You cannot pray for growth and run away from uncomfortable seasons. The process shapes you. And honestly, some of you are becoming stronger without even realizing it. You survived days that should have broken you. You kept going through heartbreak, stress, disappointment, fear. That was discipline too. Even getting out of bed during hard seasons takes strength sometimes. People think discipline is only about business, money, and goals. No, sometimes discipline is choosing not to give up on yourself. Sometimes discipline is staying calm when your emotions are screaming. Sometimes discipline is protecting your future while your present feels heavy. And patience teaches you emotional control. Because when you are patient, you stop forcing everything. You stop chasing people who do not value you. You stop panicking when life moves slowly. You stop comparing your journey to everybody else around you. Comparison destroys peace. Somebody will always seem ahead of you. But what you do not see is their hidden pain, their hidden pressure, their hidden battles. Everybody is fighting something. That is why you must stay focused on your own path. The strongest people are not always the fastest people. They are the people who refuse to stop. The people who keep showing up even when nobody notices. The people who keep building quietly, the people who keep believing during dark seasons. That kind of patience creates power, because eventually discipline becomes part of your identity. You stop needing reminders. You stop needing motivation speeches every day. You stop depending on emotions to decide your actions. You simply become consistent. And consistency changes everything naturally. One small step every day becomes transformation. 1 hour of effort becomes mastery. One painful season becomes wisdom. Then one day people look at your life and think success happened suddenly, but they did not see the years of silent work. They did not see how many times you failed and kept going, how many tears you hid behind your smile, how many lonely moments shaped your character. Success is never truly sudden. It is built slowly through patience, sacrifice, discipline, and the decision to keep moving forward when quitting would feel easier. We live in a world where everybody is trying to be seen. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants recognition. Everybody wants people to notice them. And because of that, people have become loud with their opinions, loud with their lifestyle, loud with fake confidence. But being loud is not the same as being powerful. Some of the weakest people make the most noise because deep inside they are trying to convince themselves they matter. Real power is different. Real power is quiet. A focused person does not waste energy trying to impress the room. They are too busy building something bigger than attention. See, attention can fool people. Social media made everybody believe visibility equals success. So now people announce every move before it happens. They show off things they cannot afford. They pretend to be happy while silently falling apart inside. And the sad part is, many people are no longer chasing purpose. They are chasing reactions. Likes, bias, approval, validation from strangers who do not even care about them in real life. That kind of attention drains your soul, because when your life becomes performance, peace disappears. You start comparing yourself every day. You start feeling pressure to prove yourself constantly. You start living according to what looks impressive instead of what feels meaningful. That is exhausting. Quiet focus is different. Quiet focus wakes up early without posting about it. Quiet focus keeps working even when nobody is clapping. Quiet focus sacrifices temporary pleasure for long-term growth. And honestly, that journey feels lonely sometimes because while everybody else is partying, distracted, gossiping, wasting time, you are sitting alone trying to build a better future. People may call you boring. People may not understand why you disappeared, but they do not see the war inside your mind. They do not see how badly you want to change your life. There comes a point where you realize you cannot heal and grow in noisy environments. Too many opinions confuse your spirit. Too much distraction weakens your discipline. Too much attention pulls you away from your purpose. That is why focused people protect their space, not because they hate people, because they understand energy. Every conversation affects your mindset. Every environment affects your habits. Every distraction steals time you can never get back, and time is precious. Some people waste years trying to look successful instead of actually becoming successful. Quiet people move differently. They think before speaking. They observe before reacting. They learn while others argue. There is strength in that because emotional control is power. Anybody can react emotionally. Anybody can talk loudly. Anybody can seek attention. But staying calm in chaos, staying disciplined when nobody is watching, staying focused while the world is distracting you, that takes real strength. And eventually, quiet focus produces results that loud attention never can. Because while others were chasing popularity, you were building skills. While others were begging for validation, you were developing confidence. While others were talking about dreams, you were working on reality. People often underestimate quiet people. They mistake silence for weakness, but silence can mean concentration. Silence can mean healing. Silence can mean preparation. The dangerous person in life is not always the loudest one. It is the one who stays disciplined long enough to transform themselves completely. And one day, the same people who ignored you will wonder how your life changed so much. They will see your growth, your peace, your confidence, but they will never fully understand the sacrifices you made in silence. They will never understand how many distractions you had to walk away from, how many lonely nights shaped your mentality, how many moments you stayed focused while everybody else wasted time trying to be noticed. One of the most important things you will ever learn in life is how to protect your energy, because energy is everything. Your energy affects your thoughts affect your decisions, and your decisions shape your future. That is why you cannot allow everybody access to you. Some people walk into your life carrying nothing but negativity, drama, stress, confusion, jealousy. And if you stay around that long enough, it starts changing you without you even realizing it. You begin overthinking more. You lose motivation. You feel emotionally tired all the time. Not because life is impossible, because your environment is poisoning your peace. Some people are addicted to chaos. If there is no drama, they create it. If there is no problem, they search for one. They gossip about people. They complain every day. They spread negativity everywhere they go. And the dangerous part is negativity spreads fast. One toxic conversation can destroy your mood for an entire day. One negative person can drain the confidence you spent months trying to build. That is why mature people start choosing distance over arguments. You stop responding to every disrespect. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop entertaining unnecessary conflict. Because peace becomes more valuable than being right. There are battles not worth fighting. Some people want reactions from you because chaos is the only way they feel powerful. And when you finally stop reacting, they lose control. That is growth. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves your response. Not every invitation deserves your presence. You have to become protective of your mind. The older you get, the more you realize how expensive peace truly is. It costs relationships, it costs habits, it costs environments. Sometimes you outgrow people you once loved deeply, not because you hate them, because you are trying to save yourself. And honestly, that hurts. Walking away from toxic energy is painful when you still care about the people involved. But staying in unhealthy environments slowly destroys your spirit. Some people lose themselves trying to keep everybody else comfortable. They tolerate disrespect for too long. They stay in draining friendships. They stay around people who constantly make them feel small, and after a while, they forget who they even are. That is why boundaries matter. Boundaries are not selfish. They are necessary. You cannot heal in places that keep hurting you. You cannot become focused if your mind is constantly surrounded by noise and negativity. Sometimes protecting your energy means becoming quieter. You stop sharing everything. You stop allowing everybody into your personal life. You stop seeking attention from crowds that do not truly care about your well-being. And the beautiful thing about protecting your peace is that clarity starts returning. You think better, you sleep better, you feel lighter emotionally, you stop carrying stress that was never yours to hold. There is strength in emotional discipline because the truth is everybody will test your peace eventually. People will disrespect you, people will disappoint you, people will provoke you, but not every situation deserves your emotional energy. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence, not because you are weak, because you finally understand your value. You understand that your future matters too much to waste your life trapped in constant negativity and unnecessary drama. And once you experience real peace, fake excitement no longer impresses you. Loud environments become exhausting. Meaningless conversations become draining. Temporary attention becomes worthless. You begin craving calmness, real conversations, real growth, real purpose. Because deep down, your soul gets tired of chaos. It gets tired of pretending, tired of fake connections, tired of carrying emotional weight created by other people's problems and insecurities. And eventually you realize protecting your energy is not just about avoiding negativity. It is about protecting the person you are becoming. A lot of people talk about what they are going to do. They talk about becoming successful, talk about changing their life, talk about building businesses, chasing dreams, becoming stronger, but talking changes nothing. The world is full of people with big announcements and small discipline. Everybody wants to look successful before they actually become successful. And that is why so many people stay stuck, because they are more focused on appearing powerful than doing the work required to become powerful. Real transformation happens quietly. Nobody sees the early mornings. Nobody sees the sacrifices. Nobody sees the lonely nights where you question everything but still keep going anyway. People only see the final result. That is why you should let your results speak louder than your words, because words can impress people temporarily, but results create respect. Anybody can promise, anybody can brag, anybody can pretend, but consistent action exposes the truth over time. Life eventually reveals who was serious and who was just talking. There is something dangerous about a person who moves in silence. A person who stops announcing every plan, stops seeking attention, stops trying to prove themselves to everybody around them because all their energy goes into the work. And work changes people not overnight, slowly, painfully, quickly. There are seasons where nobody notices your effort, nobody applauds your discipline, nobody checks on your sacrifices, nobody understands how hard you are fighting internally. And honestly, those seasons can feel lonely. You look around and see other people getting attention for doing less. You see people becoming popular for pretending. You see fake lifestyles getting celebrated while real hard work stays invisible. That can frustrate you. It can make you question yourself. But you cannot allow temporary noise to distract you from permanent growth. Some of the greatest victories in life happen privately first. The healing, the maturity, the discipline, the mindset shift. Those things happen inside you before the world ever notices anything on the outside. And that inner growth matters more than public attention, because when your confidence is built through work, nobody can take it away from you. Not criticism, not rejection, not failure. You become solid mentally. That is why results speak differently. Results carry pain behind them. A peaceful person has survived chaos. A disciplined person has survived temptation. A successful person has survived doubt, pressure, fear, and moments of uncertainty. People see the outcome, but they rarely understand the emotional cost behind it. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop explaining yourself completely. You do not owe everybody proof. You do not need to argue about your value. You do not need to convince people to believe in your future. Time reveals everything eventually. If you stay disciplined long enough, people will see the difference naturally. Your life will speak for itself. Your habits will speak. Your growth will speak. Your mindset will speak, because real success creates a presence words cannot fake. You walk differently. You think differently. You handle problems differently. Pain teaches you things comfort never could. And eventually you stop craving recognition. You stop needing constant validation from people. You stop posting every achievement looking for approval, because quiet confidence feels different. It is peaceful. You know how much you suffered to become stronger. You know how many times life tried to break you. You know the battles nobody else saw. That is why you no longer need to announce your greatness. You simply live it. And over time, people begin noticing something changed about you. Your energy feels calmer, your focus feels sharper, your presence feels stronger. Not because you talked more, because you worked more, because while others were wasting energy speaking about dreams, you were silently becoming the person capable of living them.